Oh, hi, folks, and welcome to the live broadcast here. I'm going to get some logistics out of the way first before we bring our guys on here. So, just want to let you know that I'm joined in this studio here with a good friend of mine. He's Mr. Grumpy. Now, Mr. Grumpy don't like mornings. He said he hates mornings. So, I like mornings, and he's going to help me out with this. So, and we'll bring the guys on. They're in the green room right now, doing some makeup. I think Edward is putting on some lipstick there, and Jeffrey is there combing his hair. So, when they get all prettied up, we'll bring them on. So, just to let you know that we're broadcasting on about I think there's 6 different channels here. Facebook pages and YouTube and that kind of stuff. So those that are joining us live, grab a coffee and sit back and relax and enjoy this. Now, I got to make sure we got some comments coming in. Oh, some people are watching already. So at the end of the broadcast, what we'll do is we'll open it up, and I'll put the link in below. And if anybody wants to come on and say hi and tell us a little bit about our topic tonight is safety. We figured the first thing that we talk about is safety on the trails or riding, whatever you're doing. If you're going up in the country and having some adventure, that safety is foremost. So that's why we want to talk about that tonight. So right now, well, for those that are going to join us later on after the broadcast is done, still send in your comments, and we'll look at them and enjoy them. So right now there's 6,100, and we're fast approaching 6,200 members for Ride the Rock on the Facebook page, Ride the Rock. So if you're not a member and you want to join up, head over and just we'll let you in, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. There's lots of good content on there. We also have a YouTube page right now that is called Adventures Ask, or Adventures Talk, and so there we can have some of these going on at the same time, and you can participate there as well. Like I said, the topic tonight is around safety. We're going to try to keep with that, and we might veer off. I know sometimes it's hard to keep one of us on track, and I'm not going to say the name, but we'll get everybody in the same direction, and all this depends on you. So if you want to participate in the chat, send us some questions. You can highlight your question by putting a question in the chat. The other thing is, if you sign up or you come on and you just don't allow StreamYard to have your name, it'll just come up. If you're on YouTube, it'll just say YouTube, and the question will be there. We won't know who that is, or if it'll be a Facebook user. And so make sure you put your name on. There's going to be a giveaway later on. Jeffrey is going to talk about that a bit. And so in order for you to get a gift, your name should be in the comments somewhere. What else? I got some information here to make sure that I'm not going to miss nothing. I think I covered it all. So anyway, without further ado, I'll start bringing the boys on here, and I'll try here's Johnny's voice, and here's Jeffrey right here. I got it. Well,
Adventures.
He's here.
And yes, I'm so loud as I ever was, and I'll probably be loud till the day I die, as I'd say. I'll be deaf as well, because the louder I get, the louder the wife gets yelling at me here, telling me to tone it down. So that being said, I'm just loud.
So
We got a few
Jeffrey,
viewers there.
just a second now, Jeffrey. So this, I want to talk about this. This is a Facebook or Facebook user. So whoever that person is, if you could allow, like there's a link there when you logged in. If you can allow that link, you put your name in there, your name will come up. So let's say we're to do a draw now, and your name, Facebook user, we might have 10 or 12 or 15 of those there. We have no idea who you are. So just make sure you put your name on. Okay, sorry about that, Jeffrey.
That's okay. No, that's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
just to add to that a little bit. Yeah, yeah. You can only qualify for a draw if we actually can see your name. So if we don't see your name, you can't qualify.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Oh my. Go ahead.
So let's bring up Everett now. He's no, he's still putting lipstick on. So we'll bring in Carol first. There you go, Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Owen. It's Carl from Rock Adventures.
Cool. And you've been around for a while, Carol. You've been a part of this this organization or the Facebook page, putting things together.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So cool. And Everett finally got his lipstick done here now, so we'll bring him in too. Hi, Everett.
Hi, good evening.
Cool.
All made up.
So you're no prettier looking now, Everett, than you were before you started in the green room there. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
right on. So we're all here, and like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about safety. That's the thing. What's in your tool pouch? What you bring up in the country, and you know what, guys? This is the first time ever for me. I rode lots of trails and out west mostly, and I was up in the country the other day, and this safety field marshal stopped me, and I went like, I've never seen this before, but she was a pretty looking lady, so I figured I'd entertain her and see what she wanted. So I got a video, and I'm going to play that a little later, and some of the questions she was asking me and that kind of stuff. So, and I believe, Jeffrey, you got a one as well.
Yes, I do actually. I got one. A lot of people may have seen it already, but we have had a lot of new members since I put it up 3-4 years ago, actually. And it's sort of down in the bottom of the pile, been misfiled. So I'd say it is a good refresher. It's a good refresher for this theme we got here tonight on safety. And you'll once you see it, it's a serious thing, but it's still funny. Same way as like someone gets in an accident. If they don't get hurt, usually laughs at it later on down the road. Well, it's that type of deal. So something could have seriously happened, but it didn't. So we can take it a little bit lighter here now because it's over and done. And learn from your experiences.
Yeah. So,
Sure.
like we talked about, is safety is going to be our main overview of this show. And I got to tell you guys that I had 6 safety specialists who were on my team, and every time I'm on one of these Facebook or YouTube or I put up a video, I get critiqued on it. So tonight now, the topic of safety, and these guys are specialists, guys and girls. I'm going to end up with some critiques on this, I can tell you that. So, and but right now they're not live. They're not on. I don't think they are anyway. And they're all out west, so I get a chance some reprieve here. So, so the one of the other things that was on our list of on our front page was first aid. So we'll talk a little bit about that. What's in your first aid kit? What you bring up in the country, and I had to show what I had in my first aid kit. So, and then if you're going with Jeffrey, you got to have tools because his unit kind of breaks down every now and then. And then the next topic would be around fire, how you're going to survive if you broke down, and you know what you're going to start a fire with and stay warm. And then a part of that is the shelter, how you're going to build a lean-to or a shelter. So we'll just kind of keep them in order. And
You wish.
Well, we'll jump all over the place here. I know that. So those that we've been on this several times now, the four of us, and we had a great bit of fun. Enjoyed the oh no, here's my safety guy, one of them anyway.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm going to get a critique from him, I know. So so anyway, we've been on this and chatting back and forth in the evening time, and like 10 minutes goes to an hour, and then we got to jump off again, and then we did it again a couple of times, and so it was all about fun. Your participation is key to this, and we're going to ask some questions in a little while, and you can send some information towards us. So, we got Jeffrey's wife, Mary. There you go. Hi, Mary. She can't hear a word I'm saying because. Oh.
Oh, there we go. This is
Oh.
oh, right, Rocky. How's it going?
Hi, Mary.
Wife is actually down the basement recently. She's been doing these masks for clients, and what a day alone she was 75, 80 orders so far today for masks. So she's flat out. She got her own job created there now. The last couple of days.
Yeah.
Takes a break. Takes a break from side by side and gone in the basement.
There you go.
Yeah.
So someone mentioned a little while ago, and I don't want to bring religion into stuff, but they mentioned about, how come all this COVID because of God? And I said, God knew that we were going to have COVID because He gave us ears. So
Yes, right, here you go.
Mary is getting those masks ready for us. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So she's a big part of Ride the Rock Adventures, as most my members on Ride the Rock Adventures know from the beginning. And she actually does, I'm going to say 99.9% of the driving. I'd rather stick in the passenger seat any day and play with me toys. And you'll see from the video I was playing with one of the toys when this little incident happened. A little later.
Yeah.
She's trying to give it away, boy. She's trying to give it away.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So the first thing, why don't the four of us say a little bit about ourselves, because there's new members. We're on different websites now that probably are not part of the Facebook page that's Ride the Rock. So how'd you got involved in, or when you got involved in side-by-siding or sledding or whatever? Just like a 2-minute thing. Why don't all four of us give I've been at it. So I'll start. So I've been at this, since back in the 80s, I guess. Well, even earlier than that. When I was in Labrador, I had a sled. Now, there was no such thing as organized trails and that kind of stuff then. And I worked on the railroad before they took up the tracks. So I was riding the rails and not the trails when I was a younger feller. And my first side-by-side, I got to show you a picture. It's not my first side-by-side. So we got somebody that just popped in. You just hang on there, Derek, and we'll bring you up in a little bit. But the first side-by-side that I had a ride with was this. It looks like an Army Jeep. Anybody know what that is? You guys ever seen
I
one
say
like
it's from
that?
the show MASH that used to be on TV years ago.
No, I'm not that old. But that was that was probably one of the first side-by-sides that came out. It's a Terrajet. And my buddy had that, and you had to sit in the middle. So you steered in the middle. You could see right up there that the steering wheel is right in the middle. It's like and in order to sit in, you had to sit either side of the driver. So that was my first side-by-side that I had a ride in. And since then, I went out west, I was working, and I had a sled, and I had a side-by-side, and then we'd always come back to Newfoundland for vacation, and bought a side-by-side here, and been enjoying it ever since. So that's my little story. So ever give us a little story of...
Want to
What?
put Derek on there before we goes to another person and see
Derek
what,
is gone again. Who is Derek? How did he get the link?
Oh, I put links into all the groups
Oh, perfect.
while
That's-
you're
that's
doing your
good. So-
preamble there. So
so he disappeared. So
okay, Derek, you come on back
Derek
in,
is-
and we'll get you on
yes, we will. Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. I can have up to 10 on this program, so that's great. So anyway, Everett, tell us a little bit about who you are for those that are not a part of Ride the Rock Facebook page.
Well, I started my first experience. Of course, I grew up with snowmobiling, and funny that you just put up the picture of the Terrajet. My brother used to sell those back in the 70s. So my first experience with a Terrajet was back when he was selling them. So we
Yeah.
grew up.
Oh, I see.
Yes, we grew up with snowmobiles, but nothing like it is now with the groomed trails. Of course, it was all just wherever you want to go, but it was pretty rough most of the time. So 13 years ago, we really got serious. I bought my first ATV, and which was a quad, and we did a lot of going and got to know a lot of people and made a lot of trips. And then 12 years ago, we went into a side-by-side. And I tell you, like, once you go to a side-by-side, you will never go back to what we call ATV. I mean, it's a totally different ride, and comfort is much more.
Yeah. And so what do? Just dump your side-by-side then, or your quad then, or you still hang on to it, or what?
I sold the quad and bought the side-by-side. So I had that one
Okay.
for 2012, the one I have now. So. But
Oh,
we
okay.
did a lot
So
of
is
fun.
it a full is it a full enclosure, or is it
Oh, no.
open, or what?
No enclosure, just the windshield and the roof. And we've been a lot of places. Now that we don't do as much running as Jeffrey or Carol, I don't think we do. Not Jeffrey anyway. But we've had a lot of
Yeah.
fun and meet a lot of nice people through it. Right.
Well, that's one thing with like in the island. Now, I'm not sure about Labrador. I've done some inquiry about what they have down in Labrador for trails and the trail system, and if there's clubs down there. And I really don't know, but if there's somebody that's watching this, and you know something about the Labrador side of things, let us know. And we want to capture all the different clubs. We're going to bring on club members here, or club executives, and they're going to tell us about the trails and what they got, and their warm-up shacks, and if they got a ride that there's a group going on, we can advertise on here as well. So, all right, Carol.
My first ATV was a three-wheeler, the old Honda 200E three-wheeler. My first snowmobile was a 12 Elan, and now I went to a quad after that, and then I dumped the quad. Now I got a 2007 Yamaha Rhino, and I got a 2018 Rhino, that's a side-by-side, and 2018 Polaris Ranger, that's a side-by-side. So I got two of them.
Cool. So you dated yourself. You went back to a trike.
Yeah.
Now, was your trike was it did you find it tippy? Like there was lots of issues with the trikes. I was on one time and I got stuck, and I was trying to push this thing, and man, I got covered with mud, and it was.
Yeah.
I found it very, unsecure, right? Really.
Very tippy. And then with the quad, like I said, you still got your faults with the quad, but with the side by side, no issues whatsoever. But my Polaris Ranger, I got her fully enclosed. I
Okay.
I made the doors myself and put on that one, right?
That's awesome.
Seems I deal with fiberglass. I made my own doors, right?
Oh, cool. And you and Jeffrey have taken lots of rides across the island, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, lots of rides. And I don't know, but the box that Jeffrey got on his bike now, he done this one himself. But the one prior to the one you see on the video later on, me and Jeffrey made 2 of them 1 week in here in my shed and fiberglassed them and put them on our bikes, right?
Cool.
Keep all your stuff dry, eh? And our buddy Everett wants
Yeah.
one for his bike now, so
Yeah, I'm. If I can find somebody to make me one. I also. I didn't go. I didn't go back as far as. Even though I'm older than Carl, I didn't go back as far as Carl did. But I did have a 3-wheeler as well. Back in the day, Yamaha Moto Sport Moto something.
yes, yeah.
But I didn't. I started off. I didn't want to date myself, like you said, right?
Yeah. So on those trikes, was there a lock diff, or was it just freewheeling? I can't remember.
The 2 rear wheels were locked all the time. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My first one was 200E. She was chain driven, but
Yeah.
my second 3-wheeler was a 250. She was dry shaft driven. But then I went to the quad, and
Oh
then I
yeah.
decided to give up that and go to the side by sides.
Cool. Okay, so Jeff, go back as far as you can remember. That was probably a week ago.
Well, yeah, that's about it. About a week ago, it was about so far I can remember. Well, I feel pretty young here tonight. Is with all you guys, old fellows with those old bikes and stuff. I can go back so far as 2018. That's where I got my first bike. But with that being said, I could probably add up Carol's kilometers and add up Everett's kilometers, and he still wouldn't make the amount of kilometers that I got on mine in the 3 years. So
Yeah,
there
I
you
guess.
go. I caught up with him. But yeah, we bought our first bike in I believe it was 2018.
Yeah.
And we put just this summer alone we put 10,000 kilometers just this one summer. A little over 10 actually, and loving every
Wow.
minute of it. Me and the wife, we've been as the song. I heard a song sung one time. I traveled the world, so me and the wife we traveled the world side by side from St. John's to Port aux Basques.
That's a big world. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a lot of
and then,
going.
and then
So-
we added the Northern Peninsula to that. We was up to Ox Bay this summer 3 times, and the last time we went up,
Oh.
we went up by accident. And that's the truth.
No.
Elvin, we got
So
a
you yes, a question right here now. Kyle
Okay,
is
yes,
asking
yes.
here.
we got Colin Nordry
So-
up on the screen there now.
Yeah.
He wants to know, is there a factory Polaris bid enclosure similar to what we guys are building, Jeffrey?
There is actually there's quite a few companies down in the States that does it. I did some research on it before I built mine. They are a bit pricey, as all those bikes, ATVs, UTVs, accessories are. The cheapest one I found was $1,800, I do believe, US. I just recently seen that Adventure Sales, which is one of our sponsors, I think they're actually selling them there now, because there's a couple of bikes came out of their shop recently with the PVC plastic enclosure on the back. Got the window on the back, and I'm not sure there's a window on the side, but this one did have a window on the back, so you can see back through from your mirror. Looking back through, you can look around back through the enclosure and back through your back window, back door, right? So yes, there's several companies out there that do sell them. Just do some research, and you'll come across some fancy ones. There's a lot of accessories with some of those. And it will keep all your safety gear, see we're talking about safety, dry.
Well, that's
Yeah,
a
there
good
you go.
segue there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeff, you got a little video here. We'd like to take a look at that if you don't mind, and we'll just discuss some of the safety factors of it, and then after a little while we'll get into what the first aid and tools and what kind of stuff we bring usually on a trip. So
Okay.
you want to roll your video and you can commentate to it. So
There you go. This is the wife. She's the very first time driving side by side here. Actually, our very first week, I should say. She only had a couple of rides, so she's taking her time. It looks like she's going fast here, but she's not. She's fairly slow. Here am I looking out through the door. Now, how am I doing that? You say, "Oh, that gotta hurt."
wow. You have a stunt man or what?
Here he goes again. Look, slow motion.
Wow.
Obviously, goes to show they never had a seatbelt on.
Mostly concerned about what I have in my hands. See, it was funny.
Wow. Just pride
Learn
hurt,
from it,
or
though.
was it you? Yeah.
It did knock the wind out of me, I got to say. I got to admit that.
So put yourself a little bigger. There you go. So
Yeah.
tell
So,
us what happened.
what do you guys think happened there? Someone send in a comment here, boys, and tell me what went wrong. Let us know what went wrong in that video. Okay, boys, come on.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
a bunch of you
Cool.
watching, so I want to comment at least. Let me know what went wrong. And we were only new at this at the time, so guys, so don't forget. Now this is only we've only had to wait probably a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks or something. So send us a comment. What went wrong in this video?
There you go. Oh, some girl by the name of Mary says she knows.
Yeah, she do.
She
Yeah.
said, "I know." Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Needless
All
to
right,
say,
and,
the little plastic clip that's on those I'll call them Mish doors that comes with those bikes, cannot handle
Yep.
this weight. You know what I'm saying? So basically,
Oh,
guys,
see.
what happened is,
Oh, we could.
what happened
We
is
got
I
your voice
unhooked
gone.
the seatbelt because stupidity. Because I lost sight of my drone. I had my drone up, and the wife was driving. I had a drone up in the air, and I lost sight of the drone. And I didn't even think. I just unhooked the seatbelt, stood up, and leaned out over where you see my head sticking up. Right. So, number
Yeah.
one, do not take off the seatbelt. Leave the seatbelt on no matter what. So I took the seatbelt off, and I was leaning on the door. Obviously, the little plastic clip just snapped, and I went flying. So, moral of the story is: do not take off the seatbelt in a moving vehicle. Tip number one. Now, guys, if you got any more
I
tips
think-
out there on that video, you let us know.
I'd say you were in an argument with Mary and she pushed you out.
I'll
That
say you're
could
right too, Elvin.
So I got a little ticker running on the bottom here. Like we just had a couple of other people that just came in and said Facebook user. Just click on that little link that's there so your name can come up. And that's how we can put you in on the draw too. So
Still there?
Cool.
I had you gone there for a minute, boys.
yeah, your mic is intermittent there. All right, so I'm gonna throw my little video up here now. Give me
Here we
a
go.
second
Hey,
to
you
set
on?
it
You
up
still there?
here.
Yeah, you're.
We're here, yeah.
Hello?
So let me, yeah, I'll let you do what you. going to make this a little bigger here, so we just give me a second here. I'm going to try to see if I can make that full screen. Did you hear any the sound from the sled going there then?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. So let me see if I can make that a full screen, and this is where this cute-looking field safety person stopped me. So now it should work. Let me just see. I'll push that into the screen like that, and I'll play her. You want to see what's in the pouch, what I carry when I go up in the country.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
I'll see if you pass the test or not.
All right. Let's have a look.
Sure thing.
Okay, so I carry, these are extra gloves, but I always got 2 or 3 pair of mittens or gloves around.
Absolutely.
And I got 2 tool pouches. One is on the sled, right there where to change the
Oh yes, yeah,
belt and that.
for sure.
And I carry some extra stuff as well.
First, I
never
thought you were
know.
I thought you'd show me your shave kit.
So, if you want to see my tool, I'll let you see that there. So, I got an axe. Now, I'm going to mount that axe on here when I get it out over here somewhere.
That's a nice axe there,
Just haven't done that yet.
for sure. Yeah.
So, there's my, before I get into that, I got booster cables just in case there's a Polaris or an Artie Cat that's broke down, you know.
Oh,
I
of
got
course, of course,
help out, right?
for sure.
And
Oh, and a shovel.
you're part of a shovel that, you know,
Yeah.
fold up and go in here. Right?
That's correct.
And if there's an Artie Cat that broke down and needs to be towed, I mean, I got
Of course.
some slings. So I normally carry that stuff. Oh, I got a pair of channel locks or is a pump pliers that, you know, I can get down to a small bite, or I can expand it to, I've just seen a second ago.
Yes,
There you go. Or that wide, eh?
yes,
You never know when they'll come in.
for sure.
So, my little
What's in this bucket?
container here, Canadian Red Cross, we happened to get that bucket some time ago. And
Don't remind me when we got that one
no, that
purchased.
was
2016 during the fire in Fort Mac.
it was, yes. So I got another little tool pouch here with a bunch of screwdrivers and that kind of stuff in there. Huh?
Yes,
Well, that's you don't need that stuff when you broke down. What you need that stuff for is just in case, like I said, you run up on another sled that's.
well,
broke
we
down.
need to make some adjustments for people.
So, I carry this knife. This is a big knife for you know, just in case I want to make some small splits or something like that. I got an axe. That axe will do it too, but it's always good to have that knife. And I'll show you another knife. It's a riding knife that I use for when I go hunting. Well, here's some wire. I keep some bit of copper wire and a bit of galvanized wire. There's 25 feet there. Keep that. You can make use of that kind of stuff. And then I got a pair of wool mittens in a Ziploc bag, just in case
Nice.
my hands get cold or wet or whatever. course, I got a rope, and that rope is this stuff stays in here, by the way. This rope here is it's got a reflective thing on it, eh? So when you shine the light to it,
For sure.
kind of let you know where it is and that. And you can't leave home without a metric adjustable. Some of the guys are saying a metric adjustable. What is it? And gas line antifreeze. Keep a little bit of that around.
Oh, I thought that might have been a spirit or something.
Yeah. No.
Of course, we don't do that, so.
So, always keep some wire. You never know what you need the jigger rig. And that wire can be used for all kinds of stuff. And that hose, I'm going to tell a story about if I had that hose, it would have helped me out quite a bit way back when I was in Labrador. So I'll tell that story. But I'm not going to leave home without that, I'll tell you. Oh yeah. Now, look at this little pulley system, and that's a good thing to have just in case, you know, you're stranded or you want to raise something off or whatever, like you get a good ratio for towing it or pulling. It just makes it a whole lot easier. I got 2 of those. So. And of course, a little bit of rags. This that comes in handy.
Yep.
I got some coffee. And in that coffee container are more straps. Because
Okay.
there might be 2 Arctic cats that broke down, as you see.
Oh, way to go.
I think one of the guys on site got a Kawasaki, so I got the heavier one for that.
I see.
And the lighter ones are for the... And that's all is in there is straps. And that stays in that container. See what's next.
What's next now? Do you have their...
This is my safety kit. Now we'll go through that.
Safety, you mean like if you run
First aid
into
kit.
first aid,
That's
okay.
what I bring you for because I have no idea. Well, I could probably use something in there. Band-Aid, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
probably a Band-Aid.
I'll show you some stuff that's in. Like this bag is full. And I'll show you some stuff that's in there now. I'll put that down.
Oh, yes, okay.
So here's some, looks like plastic
That's gloves.
Gloves, yeah.
Vinyl gloves
Oh, yeah.
come in
So
handy.
you know more about this stuff than I do.
The rain,
Here's rain gear and some candles.
yeah.
Yep. Put them there. And there's my expertise here.
Yes, there's the
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
And
And different kinds of gauze and antiseptics.
yeah. Okay. So we talked about earlier about you know, having a bushfire and that kind of stuff, right? And,
For sure.
Like, so I got matches too. I take that.
That I gotta see if you got matches.
Oh, I got it, buddy. I'll tell you. And here's a 45-minute emergency wax flare. So you know, if you're lost in the bush and the plane's flying over looking for you, then you know, burning one of these, at least you get 45 minutes out of it. So, and I got a couple of flashlights in here. I keep them in that bag there, and I suppose they work.
Important is that if they
They
work,
work.
that one works.
Yep, they work. Both of them works. And I keep changing the batteries on them. Hey, what'd you say, matches? I got matches in here somewhere. Look, I got 2 pairs of scissors just in case one wears out. Got them in here somewhere, baby. Suppose I don't have. Suppose I don't have any matches. Oh.
Then you failed.
That's not good. Look, here's some more. Well, that's to make
That's a tourniquet.
Tourniquet, yeah. I learned that at first aid one time, way back when. I can use that.
Or shoulder bandage.
Yeah. Ah, here we go. I passed. Look, I got some matches.
Oh, I guess
And I
so.
keep them in here in a plastic bag because I don't want them to get wet.
Yes, I've got a stainless steel container you can have for your matches.
You can do that. So that's basically all is in that piece there.
Let me see what's in the bottom of that. Is there syringes or?
Oh yes, boy, and I gotta give, I gotta give needles and stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff there.
Yes, okay.
And so anyway, I got some other stuff
Oh, what'd you have?
to keep in here. This is important. In case I want to cut a cord of wood down, you see?
Oh, yeah.
I can use the saw for helping out around the camp. And what else I can- this is important. If you want to have a cup of tea, right? I can boil some water on this.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Good.
for sure. Where's the tea bags?
I'll just boil water. I'll just have hot water.
Well, you know what? You said tea.
But I usually go with more stuff than this. This is just in my first aid kit. So
Oh, okay,
my safety.
fair enough.
So this has never been used, and the reason why is because I've never been broke down or lost. So, always got to have a tarp on hand, so I keep that in the bottom, and just in case, you know, we can put that over the shelter. Like I said, we'll build a shelter someday, and just, you know, we won't stay overnight in it, but if we had to, then we can do that.
Hopefully I won't be with you if I got to stay overnight in your shelter that you make.
And I said we had a couple of knives there, so this is my pride and joy here. This is one of the guys on the site here. He makes knives. He builds knives. Kyle Noserty.
Can I see it a little bit up close?
Oh yes, you certainly can. You got KN on his initial on there.
Oh, Kyle.
That's called the
Noserty.
Prevail, man. That's a beautiful knife. I'm
Yeah.
just doing a plug-in for him now. So.
Yeah, I guess so.
But anyway, that's about all's in my kit, man. I think I showed you it all now. So,
Have you got extra clothing? Like if you say if you were
well, you know what?
near water and you...
Well, we'll make the next best thing. What we'll do is boil some water. And there's always a creek around somewhere. I think the main thing about...
No, but if you fell in water.
Oh,
or-
yeah, but I'm not going to do that. I think the main thing is if you're up in the country and you're on the sled and you broke down, not to over sweat when doing something, and because you get cold that way. And the other thing is stay where you're at, because
For sure.
if you start venturing out, there's more stories about people who venture out and end up losing their way. But if you got a sled, you can make a nice little lean-to or whatever and stay there.
Absolutely.
So that's it, my dear. That's it.
It looks like you're really well prepared, but there was one thing we never talked about. You never really showed me, but
You always put me on the spot.
I'm interested to find out if you're carrying a trail pass. That's important. You never talked about or showed me one.
Well, you can't go on the trails. Well, you can, I guess. You can go on the trails.
Well,
But yes, look over in the front of the sled here. On the other, this is 2016, not that one. On this side, look. Over here, look. 2021.
oh yeah, there you go.
So that allows me on the trails.
That's right. That was important. I needed to see if you had a sticker.
But you're
So
the
you
safety
passed.
marshal. That's safety.
Well, that's a part of it, you know.
Anyway, that's it for now.
Okay,
Thank you for stopping me and checking up on me.
you're kindly welcome. Thanks, over and out.
So I'll mute some of the boys here. I got them all muted. I was getting to the stream. I was getting some noise there for. It was not. Oh, Carol. Okay. Everett, your sound is high or something, eh? I had to mute you there for a second.
My sound?
You're. I'm getting a hissy sound or something from your thing there. So, but that's okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things going on in that video.
Yes.
Number one,
she
he
wouldn't
sort of
put it-
avoids questions that his wife asks. Doesn't it?
Well, you got to just kind of, smudge it a little bit,
Yes,
right?
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
But,
So
but
yeah, that was
yeah,
interesting, though.
well, just a
Yep.
question now. Like, Danny just asked there about where's your pot covers. So, who all knows what pot covers are?
Oh,
Because I
yes.
didn't know what they were.
Snowshoes.
I didn't know what they were until, yes, they are snowshoes. And I carry a different type. I carry the bear paw. And they're in the sleigh behind. So, but anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead there, Jeffrey.
No. That's
Wait,
fine,
I got.
fine. Just
I just
that,
wanted to take the comments as they come
yeah.
in. So.
Yes, definitely, most definitely. Yeah, just want out to remind people that when a video plays like this is a good time to, push in all the comments that you can, and this is what gets conversations started and gets things going. Is when members would come on. Corbin says you got a bigger storage box than he got in his snow machine.
And Kyle said the same thing. Like, not everybody can carry that much stuff or have the facility in the back of the sleigh, because all the sleds are a little different, right? But I got a box on the back, and that container can fit in there just nice, and I can keep all that stuff in there. So.
Yeah, Colleen said that looked like smoked mackerel in the bag instead of wool mitts.
It did too, yeah. But
I didn't
but
see
they
any
are-
flint there. Did you have any flint?
No. I have
I
matches.
tell you, I guess it's a story, I suppose, but I took our pastor here in Beaver, Pastor Jamie Rousel, for a little ride just after, in January. Like you would, like
Yeah.
every other January, you can go out riding side by side, in Beaver Peninsula. And we stopped for a little fire, a little cook up there. And he said, so I went and got the, for me now, barbecue lighter type deal, right? Click the button, fire! But he said, no, you hang on now. So he piled up this little teepee of splits and got his dryer lint out and stuck it underneath. And then he took this flint. I said, what in the world is you going to do with that? Now, I know what flint is. I've played with flint, in the house, not outdoors. And he took the flint and he just snapped it a few times with whatever he had there, and spark as flint does. And just the dryer lint underneath the sticks was no more than like 10 seconds. He had a blaze up like you wouldn't believe with just this little tiny flint. I couldn't do it. I was amazed, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I see lots of people that have done that, eh?
Yes.
Have taken that flint and, like you said, get some shavings or some dryer lint or whatever, and it certainly works.
Yep. Dryer lint is like gas.
I'd rather have. Yeah, I'd rather have a big torch, though.
Yeah, there you go. That's like myself. Yeah, barbecue lighter. A little one of those mobile propane tanks type deal. You just. But yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, the flint would still work to some degree, even if you had it in your pocket and it got wet, and you needed to create a fire if you fell in the water or something. All is just dry it off so much as you can, and it would still create spark, right? So. It's a great tool for everyone to have, and it's only tiny and don't take up any space in your bike. So if you got no space in your bike or your snow machine, it's so small you can almost put it anywhere, right? This little flint. So is not an excuse that you got no space where you can't have a flint, because the flint is so small and so powerful piece of tool to say.
Yeah. Colleen has
bag of
said
chips.
there that yeah, that works too. And, if you can't get the fire going, at least you get a fat belly. So
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oops, been there, done that.
in that little video clip, I showed some hose, right? And I said I'll tell a little story about the hose. When I was in Labrador, I had a bunch of traps set out, and I had them in 3 different areas. And one Saturday morning, I got up, and I felt I was fairly good in the country. You could blindfold me, put me in, and I'd, like a carrier pigeon, I'd come back home. And so I got up in the morning, and off I go. I crossed, I'd say, I don't know, a couple of lakes, and then I just see that comment there. I'll put it up a second here. So I crossed a couple of lakes, and I went in and I checked my traps and that kind of stuff. And on my way home, I went down in some slush, and I got stuck. So, and it was on an Arctic cat, by the way, Tony. So, but it was early or late in the winter, early spring, and I got out, but I got my feet wet and I was sweating, and then when I started to head back home, I started getting cold, and I just about froze, and I knew where there was a little cabin. So I worked my way around the lake, went up to where the cabin is, and of course, no wood. I had to go cut wood. There were some rounds that were around, and I chopped them up and made some, splits and that. And then I couldn't light it. I had to fire it. So what I had to do then was I took the sled and I turned it over on the side to get some gas out of it. I'm going to mute you, Everett, for a second. We got a lot of feedback coming there with Everett's mic there for some reason. But anyway, I had to turn this sled up on the side, and I mean, the sleds are heavy, eh? And I got enough gas to go back into the wood stove and catch it on fire, and then I started burning some of the wood. I bet you I was there an hour before I started warming up. And you know what? I never told anybody where I was going. There was one fellow who used to go with me all the time, and that particular Saturday, he wasn't available, so I just went off by myself. But if I had that hose, I mean, I would have siphoned the gas out, and I was to a point there where I was so overcome that I could have, I was actually falling asleep, but it took all that was in me to lift that sled to the side to get some gas out of it. And that's why I said I'll always try to take a little bit of hose with me just in case that ever happened again. But I upgraded to a Bombardier, and so I hopefully I won't have that problem no more. So I said I'd tell that story because it really opened my eyes, actually, about going by yourself, not letting anybody know where you're going up in the country, and if somebody had to come get you, I mean, one of the guys on the Facebook page sent a picture. I think his name was Watkins. Let me just see that.
Yeah.
We had a look at that today.
Yes, I seen
And-
it there
and
today,
especially-
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. So this stuff can really happen, especially now. Like, we haven't had any frosts or nothing, and I mean, that's disaster there. If you were by yourself, I mean, you'd have to walk home, or if you didn't have a winch or something on your sled, you'd have to do something that to make sure that you'd probably have to stay overnight. But it's very serious when that kind of stuff happens, and having the right stuff, like a flint, you said, right, and is very important, I believe. So there's a couple of things that I didn't mention in that video. Is a GPS. You guys carry GPSs with you?
Oh yes, yeah. We have some sort of
Oh.
GPS or hat,
You
or
just-
that's working 24/7. Let's say.
Yeah. What
Well,
about like a spot or an inReach or something like that? Do you guys have that? Do you carry that with you?
I don't personally. Everett and Carl can answer on it for themselves, but for me, I do. I know we don't have cell service a whole lot on the Highland, but I do have a cell phone booster in the in my bike. So
Yeah.
with the booster, then it do give me a much more coverage than without one. Let's say, right? So if
yeah.
there's a small bit of service at all, the booster would bring it up, right? But usually with and one of the reasons Ride the Rock Adventures became not about popular, but came into existence was the fact we used it. My wife and I used it a lot to let people know where we were at any given time. So when we get to a spot where there was cell service, we put up a live video and tell people where we were located. So if something did happen, they know, oh, they were at such place at such time, and they're not back yet. So that's the first place to start looking.
Yeah, that's very important, I believe, is to let
Yes.
people know that you know.
Corwin
if-
carries InReach. He got his little comment there.
Okay, I just
Oh, sorry.
let's go back to Kyle's question there first,
We got
or not a question, but he put a comment there that there's different things that you can use for if you were talking about Flint, right? And you can. I find the wording a little too small here to see. Ferroceramic rods for those that want to purchase. This is a different type of flint with natural and a type of rock. So Kyle, does it work the same as a flint, like hitting it and causing sparks, the ferro rods? So let us know that. So we'll wait for his answer. And Corbin here, I carry an InReach summer and winter.
So Corwin, how did the InReach work? Is it service everywhere, or is it spotty, or how did that work? I think Corwin should pop online and.
Yeah, I put the link there, so if you want to flick on that, you can come online and chat with us for a little bit. You want to? I know my nephew in Labrador. Well, I got there's 2 or 3 of them that always got an InReach, but he was in this Kane's Quest, and
Okay, yeah.
they had the InReach with them, and found it very helpful. I mean, they were communicating back and forth, and so it's definitely one of the tools that you can put in your tool pouch is, or on your person. So,
Okay, so Carl says
Pastor
that was
Jamie,
a steel rod, no? That Pastor Jamie used, and I assumed it was a flint, but
okay, we got experts in the house. here.
yeah, that's right. That's one thing we should say. We do not know anything. You got to tell us. That's why we're
Yeah.
here. We're here for the members to come on and to explain to us. So if you're here to get information or the truth from us, then you're in the wrong place. You're supposed to be coming to us.
We should get that young noseworthy fellow on here and
Yes.
tell us about those ferro rods. If you might even have 1 or 2 kicking around there too. So
InReach works from satellite service everywhere.
yeah,
Okay. Yes, that should be a good little tool. No doubt, that's like a monthly subscription or something. I would assume.
yes, I believe it is. You got to purchase. I had a Spot at one time, but I couldn't get it to communicate with my phone very good at all. See.
Yeah, show
Many
my
people
mistakes
call
on
them
the screen.
flints,
That's
like-
right. Show my mistakes.
Yeah, but the Spot that I had, I don't know, it would work, but it wouldn't talk to it. Like you could send a few texts, just text back and forth like we're doing here, or you can send an SOS or whatever, right? And like Corbin said, you on a satellite system rather than a cell service, right? And because of lots of dead spots. I gotta tell a funny story. I was on the trail there. I was on the trail, and I think I went on. I was down on vacation. I went on a couple of times on in the side by side, And then, of course, it snowed, and I was heading back to the same spot that I went on the side-by-side, but now everything was looking different. So we came out to this intersection on the trail, or it was off the trail, but the trail wasn't too far away. And I said to Peggy, I said, I think we got to turn right here. So I turned right, and then we drove for half hour or so, or 15 minutes anyway. And I said, this don't look familiar. So I turned around, came back to the intersection, and I went back to where I came from. And I turned around again. I went back. I said, I think I'm lost, but I'm not 100% sure. So I said, I better text my brother-in-law. Yeah, well, I said in that video I was never lost, and I wasn't. So I came back to the intersection again, and I said, I'm going to have to text my brother-in-law, Danny, there, and I say, well, you're going to have to come get me. And then, of course, try to explain where I was at. I mean, I didn't know where I was at. I knew I was on close to the trail, but I was driving all these side roads. And I sat down, I said, Peggy, I think this looks really familiar to me. And you know what? I was about, I'd say, 1 minute away from the main trail, from the main, the snowmobile trail. And I said, okay, so from now on, I got to let somebody know where I'm going, because, I mean, it's easy to get lost, right? Especially
Definitely.
you go there when there's a fresh snowfall. And, I mean, we had lots of snow in this area anyway for the last little while. And if we go up in the country now, I mean, some guys know the back country, they know where to go and all that. But there's always new people on the trail. And you just got to be careful make sure people know where they're at and that kind of stuff. Never say you're lost. Okay. When your wife is around.
Maybe you should, Corwin, because if you say you're lost, your wife will ask for directions when you won't. It's a man
I've been
thing.
told get lost. I've been told get lost a few times.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Yes,
as they said, very interesting. How do I become a member, Danny? I think there's a monthly fee for this,
is
isn't it?
12-month subscription. Oh my.
So I'll let you, Jeffrey, go ahead now and
Okay.
how
Just
to log in and.
I'm sure you're on Facebook. So while you're on Facebook, just do a search on Facebook for Ride the Rock Adventures, and Ride the Rock Adventures will come up. And just go up to the ad or the like button, and when it pops up, I'm sure myself, Everett, or Carol, or Elwin will see that you are interested in becoming a member, and that's pretty much all to it. But now, in the meantime, after we finish here, I'll see if I can find your Colin Austin, and I'll send you an invite as well. If I might beat you to it before you actually finds it. So, try it both ways.
Yeah. So did Derek? I didn't see him come back on.
No,
there,
he didn't.
but
No, he didn't.
Like
come
I
back,
said,
no.
anybody wants to pop on here for a few minutes? So we'll stay for another 10 minutes or so, and if you want to pop on, tell us a story, whatever, you're more than welcome. I think we covered what's in the first aid kit, and
We covered about 2% of what we was going to talk about.
well, we talked about some tools. Is there any special tools that you guys won't go home or won't leave home without, or not?
Make sure you got a tire repair kit, especially with Jeffrey.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one, Carol.
Jeffrey,
I carry a little. I carry a little hydraulic jack.
yes.
Yeah, and of course booster cables. Is a good
Yeah.
thing. You can't start an ATV with a full board. And like you said, plug kits and different things. Fire extinguisher is important. Extras required. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can carry.
Yeah, for sure. There is a lot more than what we can handle too. I'd say there's a lot of. I got a list. I do have a big list there. I'm not sure if Elwyn got in there now or not, but it's look at the list and says, "Oh my, you never have enough room to carry all that." But we do. Oh, here we go.
Is this one here?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So this is with ATVs and UTVs. What we need to do is one for snowmobile. So all those, especially this time of the year. I mean, for those that are on this or see this even after it's not live, send us in what you think should be there for a day trip. Now, I know we go on the trails and there's lots of people on the trails, but sometimes you could be out there by yourself. And I mean, this is an awesome list. So we're going to try to develop one that is for everybody, for snowmobiles. Yes, yeah.
I'm going to add to that, if you don't mind, dear Elwyn. I did say that I was going to do a draw, but what I think I'm going to change it up a little tiny bit. So this is what we're going to draw for. And
just a second, I'm going to put you full screen here, Ben.
Okay. This is what we're going to draw for as a sign that I painted a little while ago. And but what I'm going to do, see, Elwyn mentioned about the doing what's in your safety box, let's say, for snowmobiles. For every person that puts a comment up on what they carry or what we should carry and comments under this video, their name would go in for a draw for that particular sign. And I believe Derek is back on, or he's trying to get back on there.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to get back on there now.
How you doing, Derek?
He fell asleep on us waiting.
Yeah.
Hello, Derek. Can you hear us or what?
I think he maybe froze.
Yeah. We'll put him back down in the basement until he wakes up. But Kyle made a good comment here about planning for safety could be daunting, and try to break it down. My planning in two types: vehicle trouble and personal injury. That's a good suggestion, actually. Yeah. Cool. A couple of things now on the safety aspect of out riding the trails. Somebody sent me a note saying, could you tell people that, especially around the side-by-side, anybody that's having those LED lights, those bright lights, when you come up on somebody that, you're going to overtake or pass or get close, you should turn your lights off, because it's very bright in people's face, and it could cause an accident. Yeah. No, I haven't seen any.
Yeah. Well, my take on that is, you in a vehicle on the highway, you turn your lights down. So why not do the same off road, if that's possible for your machine? I know some machines. I know some bikes don't have a high beam and low beam, but I think they would have it separate from their LEDs, I would assume. So just assume that you're on the highway. If a machine is coming towards you on the highway, you turn your lights down, and then, if you're tailgating someone, let's say, you'd put your lights down. So why not do the same thing when you're on the trail?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen any on the snowmobiles. I don't know if there's guys put bright lights on those or not.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Well, it's the same thing. Like if you're coming up on somebody, just, turn them off or dim them or do something with them, because it's very hard on your eyes. Here's a good tool Corbin just put up there. That's Snow Bungee. You guys know what that is about? What it is?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not
either, no.
So, Corbin, if you don't want to come on and tell us what it is, I'll talk about it. I think I know what it is. It's like a tow rope, like a sling, like I had there in that video with trying to pull a hardy cat. But it's like a bungee cord. So if you're stuck, that thing kind of gives you a bit of an elasticity, and it'll pull you out a little bit better than if it's just a straight pull.
Okay.
And I know the guys in Labrador, they swear by them. So I believe that Corbin, that's what we should get him on here. I believe that's what you're.
He's
you're
actually a
referring
moderator
to.
for Ride the Rock Adventures too.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
I'll put that link up again. So anyway, you can click on there, look, and come right in.
Do we see that link there?
Yeah, everybody should see that. Yeah. That should go everywhere, actually, on all the different sites. So,
Okay.
what did Kyle say there a few minutes ago?
Fire extinguishers.
Thoughts of having an actual fire extinguisher on board versus just to require a little bottle of ABC powder. Yeah. That's,
Yeah, we got the £5 fire
I just
extinguisher on our
purchased
bikes.
I just purchased, or everyone gave me for Christmas actually, a proper fire extinguisher that can be mounted to the back of your bike. I think, Carl, you have one on yours.
Yes, I do. Yep.
'Cause those little ones, they're the ones that they've been selling out here for ATVs are actually only meant for like a chainsaw, and they're only powder. And I think the real, the liquid one, the spray, right, is the better one. My opinion.
okay.
Survival blanket and extra food.
Good.
There's one problem with
Yeah,
that, Colleen, with the survival blanket and the extra food. Everybody here, I'm sure, can see the problem. Extra food don't be
Food.
extra food for very long. Have you guys seen the pictures on Facebook that we put up? It's all about food.
Yeah, lots of
So
food.
there's no extra. We eat it all.
All right.
But yes,
Yeah,
good point there, Colleen.
Jeffrey, our Halloween treats over in Owley, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I've been a diabetic ever since, Carl.
Hey?
Even diabetic ever
I've been a
since.
diabetic ever since. Yeah, that was fun, but
So we talked about the fire a little bit and
Yeah.
shelters. On the snowmobile trails, there's lots of warm up shelters, but if you're stuck in between somewhere and you broke down, you guys ever build a small shelter, or do
Lean-to
you
type
always
deal?
carry a
Lean
tent?
to, yeah, yes.
Lean-tos.
A lean-to, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you carry a tent with you, or what?
I carry a tent because you never know when you could accidentally end up in Knox Bay somewhere and want to stay at night.
That's right. we always carry a tent, eh? Or
see, there's a big difference in traveling in the winter on a snowmobile than it is in the
Yes.
summer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In temperature alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, quite a difference.
For sure. Now, we should add that for those who are familiar with the trails and the snowmobiles and ATVs certainly as well, because of COVID, the shelters
Yeah.
that belongs to the snowmobile groups and Snowmobile Federation, they're asking that we stay away from the shelters right now, unless it's an emergency. Okay, so they're recommending to not to congregate in those buildings unless there's an emergency, and then of course that's what they're there for. So I just want to put that out.
Yeah.
when they
for
probably
sure.
work at their hot shots.
Hot
which is
shots,
good.
yeah, definitely.
I got another topic too. This good thing for an snowmobile is maybe
Well, we have to make room for the sponsors.
Yeah,
because,
and we're gone over time here.
Elwin.
We,
Yeah,
Another
go ahead, Carol.
what's
Another thing you should have in your skidoo is a crazy carpet.
Yeah.
Because if you happen to break down in the woods on your snowmobile,
yes.
tow your crazy carpet to your track. And it'll be easier for towing your skidoo out, right?
Every hill you can still
Yep.
ride. You ride your snowmobile. So you just get on your snowmobile and slide down over the hills.
Exactly. I'm a snowmobile in the winter. I always take crazy car in my pack sack or in the sled, right? For the same reason. You don't
That's
know.
That's right. And weight doesn't really matter then either, does
No.
it? Like,
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
you know,
No.
that's a good plan
Yep.
actually.
That way, then.
But
That way, hey,
if I take a crazy carpet, Peggy will want to sit on the back end of it and be towed behind. You know.
I'll say the other way around. She would want to take you in tow.
You gotta have rope to attach it though, Carl. Eh?
Oh yes, oh yeah.
Yeah. You
Well,
know,
that-
well, what do you do? Hook them onto your skis or what?
No,
I don't know.
No,
Just on the track.
hooking onto the holes in your track, see,
Okay.
and tying on there, and then whoever told you, then your track is not turning around,
Oh, okay.
and
We're
going
done,
over. It's just sliding, right?
Yeah.
Easier for towing your skidoo out, eh? That way you don't have to take your drive belt or nothing off.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. That's a real good idea. A real good plan actually. I never even thought about a crazy carpet.
It was too crazy
I've
to
been
think
on
of.
a crazy carpet. Yeah. Cool.
It's good.
All right, so we're getting pretty down to the end there. It's too bad we couldn't get Derek. He tried to come on there, and but it's too bad he didn't make it. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Our next one is going to be. We're going to try to do it bi-weekly, you guys?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
March the
Would be
3rd,
better,
I think,
yes.
is next Wednesday. Boy,
Yeah.
the time is just flying, man.
Oh,
So March 3rd is we'll come on again.
Yes.
The 7 o'clock seems to work for us here, for the four of us. Let us know though if that's a good idea, good plan, good timing. Now I know there's lots of people out west who are going to tune into this, and it's early out there, and a Wednesday night they're probably working anyway. And but it's this is the time that kind of works for us here in Newfoundland. So
Carl
let
just
us know,
popped
right?
Ain't that the truth, Kyle?
Carl just popped up under them. One point, make sure you know how to use your equipment. People pack gear that they have no idea how to use.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yes.
You leave it open until you break down.
That's right. Backup power certainly for charging a phone. Yes.
Yeah.
I got a booster pack in my side by side,
Yeah.
and in the winter I take some on my skidoo, and you can boost your skidoo or your side by side, or charge your phone, or it's excellent.
Or boost
You-
somebody else.
Or boost
Yes.
somebody else. Yeah, there you go.
You can buy them at any of the skidoo dealers or the bike dealers for around $125. It's a great investment.
Yeah, it is for sure.
I'm going to put you up in full screen here. You got a ticker running there. Let me just take this one off.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but we got a sponsors corner, and if you're interested in sponsoring our program, sponsoring Ride the Rock Adventures, just drop us a message or PM, or to adventurenl@gmail.com, and we'll get some information to you so that you can become a sponsor and be advertised on our Adventures Talk podcast, I guess you'd call it, or talk show, or we have no
Something
idea
like
what
that.
this is. We're just doing it, and we just just see what happens.
It's all about engagement, right?
Yes.
Is to get people telling stories, coming on and helping. And you're not just helping us out. You're helping. There's a big community here.
Yes.
And like I said, this is an overarching site for all the different clubs. A venue that we can sit here and talk about some things, like that picture of the sled that went in the water there. We, it'd be nice if Mr. Watkins could come on and just tell us a little bit about that, right? What happened and how he got it out, and that's the stuff that makes this interesting, right?
For sure. For sure, especially when you hear it from the person that actually experienced different instances or adventures or different things like that. So and it makes the show even much more better when people get on and for themselves, because it is for you guys, it is for the members, and it is so that you as members can share your experiences, your knowledge to the full clubs across the island and around the world. You know, so yeah.
Did you just hear Kyle at up there in?
Yes.
Yes.
One of his sponsors is Wild Mid Kits. He asked if you don't mind sharing it, right? That's excellent, Kyle.
That's good. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So we know we're done when Jeffrey stops.
Yeah.
Yelling other words.
We're done.
Cool. All right, folks. Thanks for popping in, and we got a list of names here, and we'll do a draw when Saturday probably.
Yeah,
Jeffrey?
probably we'll do a draw at some point between now and the next show, and we'll announce the winner.
Yeah.
Now, just make
See,
sure
what's good?
set up tips at the bottom of this video. Make sure you got some safety tips put in, and for especially for snowmobiles, because we want to try to create a snowmobile list, not only of what you can have in your safety kit, but safety policy or safety, what you deem to be safe on the snowmobile trail. Because, well, myself, I don't even own a snowmobile, so it's up to you guys to bring those ideas to us, and in doing so, we'll create a safety list, and we'll have it accessible to all of our members.
Cool. Thanks very much for that. And anyway, it's been a slice. This is our first to really get together live. As time goes, we'll bring on some guests, ask a few questions, and hopefully we can bring this to a different level and a higher level and a broader level. What I was going to say, I know there's a lot of people out west that's going to watch this, and a lot of them are from Newfoundland or Labrador. And that's one thing we got to keep in mind is part of Newfoundland, the island, is Labrador. So there's a lot of people who would like to come back, and they'd like to spend a week of traveling, either traveling on the trails or in the summer and winter, or traveling by motorcycle even. So hopefully this site we can bring in tips about where to go, and we'll bring up a map. I thought I had one in the background, but the snowmobile maps, we'll bring that up and we can zero in on, certain things. And if somebody sees something that they'd like to talk about, let me just see. Here we go. Let me just share that. I'll bring that up. So, here. So we can talk, zoom in on any of this stuff, and this is on the snowmobile site. And, we can talk about someone, say, like, watch out where this creek is here, and, or brook or whatever it is there. And so that's this kind of stuff we want to really own in on. So, cool. Well, anyway, guys, like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next end. You guys all stay here.